Welcome back, traders. Today, we're bringing you a conversation with someone who truly stands out in the trading and entrepreneurial space. Known for his relentless work ethic, both in the gym and in life, he's a man who embodies discipline and drive. He's an entrepreneur, a dynamic speaker, a skilled swing trader, and most importantly, a devoted family man. His story is not only inspiring, but packed with valuable insight that every trader, new or experienced, can learn from. So grab a pen, a notebook, and get ready to soak in the wisdom as we explore the day trading journey of Carl David. All right, guys, what's happening, man? We are back on NOFOMO, man. And today we have a very special guest, a fellow that I've witnessed grow in this game of trading, man, Carl David. What is happening, sir?
I am fantastic, Day. Mr. Daedrin Woods. How are you?
Oh, man, I can't complain, man. You know, we staying 10 toes in this game.
It's the only way to go, bro. It's the only way to
Right,
go.
right. So, man, I'm so happy to have you back on, man, because you are somebody I witnessed grow. You know that we met shooting in the gym together. You know what I'm saying? So, and
Absolutely.
uh, and like, man, I wanted to get into your personal journey and your motivations. You know, and just talk about a few key things that helped you become the trader that you are today.
Okay.
So first off, let me start by asking you, how did you first get into day trading and what inspired you to pursue it seriously?
All right. So let's unpack that a little bit. So I'm not sure exactly what year that this was, but I was introduced to binary options early on in my career. Maybe
Mm,
2014 or 15, I want to say, and myself and another friend of mine, Andre Derivo, we started trying to trade binary options because we saw people online doing it, right?
mm,
And I quickly realized, like, yeah, we'd flip an account, right? But then I'd lose everything within a
mm,
week or so. So I saw the potential, and then I also saw that this shit ain't for me. I'm like, bro, this is never gonna work if this is how this market works. So I got introduced to binary options first, and then moved away from it. Got back to normal life. I was doing digital marketing at the time, and then a buddy of mine reached back out to me and introduced me to Forex, foreign
mm.
exchange. Totally different concept, right?
Right.
Um, but then again, from my background, who I am, I've always been eager to seek ways to not make money. I'm not here to make money. I wanted to have freedom, time freedom, financial freedom, and really just generational freedom. Because where I come from, our families don't really move like that, and my mindset shifted at an early age. So when I got introduced to this stuff, nobody was going to stop me from trying to figure out how it works, right?
Mm,
And then doing it for myself and my family as well. So got introduced to Forex. I was a part of a company called iMarkets Live. And what's
mm,
interesting about that is as I was, just engaging in iMarkets Live, I also had a friend of mine who I was interacting with on Facebook just about digital marketing. And it was like the craziest thing that happened. Um, he lost his dog one day. Okay. And I'm
mm.
a digital marketer. So we set up Facebook ads, we run campaigns and stuff. He literally lost his dog one day. And he reached out to me and was like, Carl, I lost my dog. I lost my dog. And I was like, what? And he's like, dude, I
Mm.
lost my dog. I don't know, blah, blah. But do you think you can set up a Facebook ad and then hopefully somebody can find it? You ever seen, like, when you're walking down the neighborhood, people
Hmm.
post posters of their dogs, or, kids
The
on the
please call lost dog sign.
exactly. So
Yeah.
I literally set up a reach campaign within a 10-mile radius of his postal code, because luckily he lived in my city. And bro, I can't even make this up. 12 hours later, right after we set up the call, I probably spent $10 on the Facebook ad. I get a call from who's now my mentor. I found my dog. I was like, no way. He's like, dude, your ad worked. Somebody saw the Facebook ad, and what's wild about it is the person who found the dog kept the dog safe. And when they returned it to the owner, they were like, look, I looked out for the dog because 1 year ago somebody stole my dog, and I felt like I
Mm.
had to protect this baby for you. Insane. So long story short, this guy was talking to me. He's like, I was ready to give up like a $10,000 reward for this dog. I'm like, 10 bands for your dog? My logical next question was, what do you do for a living, bro? He's like, oh, I trade Forex. Listen, this is my year 2, 3 on iMarketSlab. I'm like, everybody trade Forex, right? He's like, no,
Right.
no, I trade for a living. And I'm like, oh, well, do you mind showing me, bro? Because I'm stuck right now. Can you teach me some stuff? Uh, Took me on a little journey. Coffee
Mm.
shops, a couple times a month, we would link up at literal physical coffee shops, and we would sit down and start going through this maze, as I would call it. He
Wow.
was trying to teach me the stuff that I'm absorbing now, years later, but I couldn't quite grasp it because my mindset wasn't there.
Wow.
Everything that we're talking about now, key levels, fundamentals, recording your trading, every single thing, emotional processes. And he gave me the keys. And then I kind of had to go on my own journey of self destruction to come back and use the keys later. So that's how
Mm.
I got introduced to trading. And then that's how I kind of started to find my way out as well, because I had somebody right there to tell me that everything I'm seeing, don't look at it the way you see it. You have to like
Mm.
go through it yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. There's no better experience than direct experience, man. Trial by fire.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And like so explain to me, what were some of your biggest challenges that you faced early in your trading career?
Well, I would say it's 100% mindset, and I'm aware enough to know where it came from. So I grew up in a Haitian household. I was born in a third world country. I was born in Haiti, right? So I grew up in
Mm.
South Florida, and our whole entire upbringing was survival, right?
Mm.
Till this day, my family still doesn't really move a certain way because that's how we've been hardwired, right? So
Mm.
my biggest challenge throughout these years had been understanding that this market is not here for me to make money, it's here for me to grow money.
Mm.
So I had to let go of the expectations of the, oh, I think the market's going to do this, or and an overly confident part of having a win streak and then over leveraging. It was all of the psychology of
Mm.
trading, where I know what I'm doing, but I can't let go of my old self. I'm impulsive. I'm undisciplined. I am unorganized, right? So
Mm.
these things seep directly into my process that I didn't
Right.
have, because the
Uh.
process was to just, oh, I think this market's gonna go here and then go there. So then I'll jump in the trade. I'll put a couple of grand into an account, jump in the trade. Yeah.
So like, what describe a major turning point in your trading journey? Like when did things start to click for you?
I think things started to click for me when my fiance got pregnant,
Ha. Shit got
because
real.
shit got more than real. Because here I am going on my journey of self destruction, right? But if I take them along with me, oh, this is not what I said. I want generational wealth, not to now strip people who I haven't even met yet of that opportunity. So
Mm.
I had to one day I was I blew another account, right?
Mhm.
And you at that moment when you're like you're in that drawdown, okay? And there's no way out of it, but you say, fuck it, I'm gonna throw this last 2, 3 standards, and then bitch, if you blow it,
Yep.
blow it. If you go up, then I was gambling, right? Hoping. So
Right.
the account's gone. And then I'm crying. I'm literally, bro, I'm crying in my little office room. So I get up and I go to the mirror and I looked at myself and I told myself, bro, you gotta stop. I said,
Mm.
whoa. I said, yo, you gotta stop. So it's like I looked at myself in the mirror and I told Carl to stop. So then I started to ask myself, who is I? What is that?
Mm.
Because I couldn't, Carl couldn't control himself, my impulses, all my subconscious. But whoever I was trying to become, that higher being, started to step in, and I started to try to tell myself that you're causing this. So you have to stop it as well. You're going to have to put whatever limitations around yourself. You're going to have to immerse yourself in whatever you're doing wrong so that you can do this right. You see it working. The reason why you're
Mm.
wanting to do this is because you physically met a mentor, right, that does this for a living, and you see how he move. He don't move like the
Mm.
people on the internet. I'm inspired by that,
Right.
right? So that confidence of having somebody there that does it, but then also knowing that all my past is what was holding me back by the psychology. The breaking point was that last blown account. I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, yo, you got to stop this shit. So then from
Word.
then on, I never traded the same again. I never, ever traded the same again.
Word. So like this is something that I have struggled to balance myself. Tell me about, how do you balance trading with your personal life, especially on the days with high market volatility?
I've I've had the pleasure of meeting some incredible people who
Mm.
trade different styles, right? So
Mm.
you have the scalpers, and then you have swing traders, and then you have people who trade intraday, day trading, right?
Mm.
Um, I'm like a parrot. So I remember somebody saying once, I'm not trying to stare at these charts all day. And I'm
Right.
very intentional about my time. So I only need one or two setups a week and I'm good.
Mm.
Hearing it is one thing, but then seeing that happen over and over and over to yourself is what made me shift, right? So I would mark up a chart, and then when it's time to execute, I can't really execute because I have stuff going on with the family, right?
Mm.
I started to become angry towards the family. I started to neglect the very thing I'm working for, right? And then
Wow.
the house was out of balance, out of order. And as that's happening, I'm frustrated with them. They're frustrated with me, frustrated with the markets. Nothing's working. So again, through all that, I'm like, I don't want to do it this way. And I remember one of my good friends, my traders, saying, I'm very intentional about my time. So I'm like, shit, I'm very intentional about my time too. So I need to flip the way I'm doing this. I don't want to go in the market and look for trades. I want those trades to look for me. So
Mm.
I started to develop a mechanical process. I'm like a little computer guy. So I started to develop a mechanical process that the same things that I would normally look for when it's time to trade manually, those things are starting to send me alerts. So
Mm.
then now I'm shifting from looking for trades to trades looking for me. And when the criteria is met, I got a flashcard right next to me that says, Open DXY, check news, visit weekly, daily timeframes, check 1 hour, 4 hour. Am I in the right state of mind? So I turned it into a job, right?
Mm.
So I turned it into a job. So now I can't say that I'm trading. No, no, I'm following a routine so that when the trades show up, I can execute and then I walk away. Because my challenge with that was I got the two kids early in the morning. That's when the market is starting to move on this side for us, right?
Right. Right.
I couldn't trade and be with the family at the same time. So I
Right.
had to like take some time away from that, try to mold it into what I'm trying to do. And then what really, really helps me now is, like I said, everything is mechanical. And then I decide whether I'm gonna engage or not. And
Mm.
it's still a work in progress. It's still a work in progress. But that's what's given me the most um, mental mental freedom, for sure, for sure.
Word. I mean, trading is a continuous growth process. So it's like you're never reach that this is it moment, you know. So it's always developing, man. That's something that took me a long time to really understand the evolving evolution of trading. So like tell me, what's your primary trading strategy? How did you develop it?
I developed it through going through my notes that I sat down with my mentor. So I can, I got a notebook from 2016, 17, right? And
Uh,
inside of that notebook, we're going through everything, key levels. There's a particular strategy or a particular frame that was taught to me, right? And it was called
mm.
turtle soup. But
Oh.
listen, when you go through all this different stuff, you kind of get lost in what you're who you are and what works and the things that you remember writing. I took a bunch of notes, but I had never gone
Mm,
back through the notes until you're like, dang, I'm broken down. This is not working. What did work when it was working? You got to do some deep work. So I went back and I'm
right.
like, I remember him saying this. I remember that. So I started to back test it lonely by myself. Okay.
Mm,
I started to back test it and I saw things from a different lens. So
hmm.
I wouldn't say I trade quote unquote turtle soup, but what I do trade are reversals at key levels in the market that
Hmm.
are either um, internal reversals. So when the market is trending up, I'll wait for, let's say, if I'm looking at a monthly or a weekly trend, I would want price to reverse on the lower daily time frames and give me those entries there at key level lows on the daily. So I wait for price to get to key levels. And when I see a manipulation around those key levels, I have like a particular, I know people don't trade with patterns and stuff like that, but that's how I see the market. I can see it from a mile away. So when I see
Mm,
those particular patterns happen, um, that's how I would engage. And then, like I was telling you, I got all of that coded into different tools specifically for
hmm.
different reasons, compartmentalize them, right? It's not an
Right.
indicator that tells you what to do. It's the indicator tells me where what price is doing. It's not what to do, it's what price is
Wow.
doing. Yeah. So that's what I do. I trade key levels. Um, and I'm really trying to see how to optimize it. If we can hold trades for a certain amount of times, but just go in there with a 1 to 2 risk to reward most of the time. And my win rate is not fucking sexy. I have like probably a 40 45% win rate, but
Hmm.
the job done. Because again, through my journey, I used to I used to going through the ICT stuff. I used to try to trade with the 6 pip stop losses, but I'm not a scalper, okay? And I'm going for
Hmm.
40, 50, 60 pips, which just doesn't make sense, right? Trying to hit 1 to 7, 1 to 8, 1 to 5 over and over and over. Mathematically, it's possible, but you're going to lose a lot more trades than you want to. And if you can't handle that emotionally, you're going to make a mistake along the way, right?
Mm,
So,
word.
yeah.
So like being that you have somewhat of an automated system, I mean, you've set these automated processes in place to help you along the way. So tell me, how do you approach risk management in your trade? Do you have a specific system for cutting losses?
Okay. So that whole process as well, that was where the automation started because I know myself, I was again greedy, trying to
Mm,
get as much as I can out of the market and not understanding the downside risks as well, how to really protect yourself. So over time, I've developed a pretty straightforward system where I would risk a certain percentage per trade on each single trade, and then I also have a max daily loss limit and a max daily profit limit. That's how I keep myself
mm,
in check. And because I've had trouble containing myself there, I also have a software handle that part too. So when it comes to position sizing, it's the same percentage per trade. And when
mm,
it comes to taking profits, though, that's discretionary because the market can sometimes move more in our favor. Sometimes it won't, but I'm always looking to secure a 1 to 2, and the tools help me do that.
Mm. So like something I want to understand, because you have processes in place. I mean, I commend you for the organization, man. Just listening to your story is amazing. So like can you walk us through your daily trading routine? Like what does a typical trading day look like for you?
Okay. So the trading day for me starts on Sunday because that's the beginning of the week. So what we'll do is break down what happened for the past week. I focus primarily on the dollar index.
Hmm.
And although we can't tell where the market is going to go ever, right?
Hmm.
But
Right.
we can project where it may go. So one of our good friends, another mentor I would consider a good friend, explained to me that if you know where you are, if you know where the price was, and you know where price is likely to go, you already have an edge. So on Sundays, that's what we do. And then coming into the trading week, um, it's a pretty smooth process because I get up, I spend time with the kids in the morning,
Hmm.
and then I take them to daycare, and it's 8:30 on the dot every morning. Like we out of the house. Luckily, the daycare is not far. It's a few minutes away. I walk them to
Hmm.
daycare and then I come back home. By the time I'm home, it's 8:50. 8:50, I have an alarm that goes off on my phone that says I'm a highly profitable algorithmic trader, right? So
Mm.
it's a reminder it's almost time for work. And then I cannot do anything. I sit on the computer. I'm in the office, but I don't do anything until the alerts come in. So the alerts would come in, tell me that price hit a particular key level, and or I have a buy or a sell potential setup, which is the same way how I trade. And then I would look at the market and say, let's jump into this trade. Or if it doesn't fit the other criteria that I'm looking for, I don't see a clear target that the price might want to go to, it's not a good favorable risk to reward, I have to sit on my hands because I have my flashcard next to me and I'm doing a job, I'm working a job now, right?
Mm.
So if I know in a regular 9 to 5, if I don't follow the what my boss told me to do, I'm getting citations, I'm getting written up, they sending me home, and then they firing me.
Mm.
Right? No 2 weeks. You just getting fired on the spot. That's a blown account, sir. So
Right.
that 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 definitely keeps me in check. Yeah, it's everything is in terms of did did it happen yet, and if it happened, then I will execute. If this, then that. Everything is conditional.
Mm. Right. So like explain, how do you decide whether to enter or exit it? Well, you pretty much describe how you enter a trade, but explain how you exit a trade and what indicators or signals do you rely on the most?
All right, so this is how I exit trades. I don't necessarily rely on indicators for that. So every trade that is framed would have a target because I'm usually looking for price to move from one key level high to the middle of that range or the external part of that range, or a
Mm.
key level low to the middle or the external. So I just let the market do what it's going to do for that session. And so let's say we go into profit um, 1R. Well, I'm going to move my stops to break even, or my tools will move the stops to break even. So we're protected in the trade. And if we get to TP2, we get to TP2. If I see like the market wants to run and move more, I would
Mm.
adjust my system. We'll still be at break even. I'll adjust my system and see if we can get to TP3. And
Word.
if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, I take whatever the defense gives me for the day.
Okay. So that's a very conditional way of trading.
Yeah.
Like, so let's get into the emotional and psychological aspect of things. What role does emotional control play in your trading, and how do you manage stress or anxiety during losing streaks?
I think it's probably the number one, the biggest, the most important part of trading is to find a way to make it not an emotional process.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't think we're ever gonna, unless you're a robot or you train yourself on that to really numb yourself. But again, I remember one of my mentors teaching me um, not to be excited when I win and not to be down when I lose because it's just the cost of doing business. So when I go on a losing streak, I have to completely disconnect from trading and just go back to family and play ball. That's my outlet. I play basketball,
Word.
reassess what just happened, and get back on the right path because those losing streaks, they don't happen often unless you allow it to. But
Hmm.
even when the losing streaks happen, it kind of has to happen because sometimes you'll go on winning streaks as well. And if I hadn't done the back testing and the forward testing, there's no way I'm taking another trade next week because I've been so down on what happened the week prior. But you have to trust the data. If you've done work on the data and if you know what your system averages in terms of a win rate plus your risk to reward, that math right there is what creates profitability. So
Hmm.
the emotional part is going to be there. It sucks when we lose, right? And it's
Right.
a little euphoric when we win as well. And I always go back to, what am I here for? Am I here for the excitement? Am I here for the Lambos? Or am I here for, like, I never have to work a job ever again? I have mental, financial, spiritual freedom. I'm good. I can lose this week and I know I can come back next week and be okay because my data shows me that that's happened before in the past. So it keeps me
Hmm.
in check. Yeah.
So it's like essentially the losing streak is somewhat of a mental reset
It
because
happens.
it forces you to reset.
It forces you to reset. I play ball. I play basketball, right? There
Hmm.
are nights when, listen, it's like the rim just gets big. All right. The ball's the same size, but the rim just gets big. You get into this supernatural state. The defense is like, who's guarding? It don't matter, bro. It don't matter. I'm coming off the screen, I'm pulling up. This is the shot that I practice every day. I have full confidence in it, and you're in the zone. But there's also nights where Steph Curry is gonna go 0 for 10. Chef, the best, greatest shooter ever, and he does this for a living. No,
Word.
it's gonna happen. So when it happens, how do you handle that? We have to completely disconnect. I have to remove myself from the space, take a step back, analyze what just happened, try to learn from it. Sometimes it don't make no sense. Sometimes I don't know.
Right.
I can't put a finger on it, right? Um, but definitely being able to take a step back because I know, and that's the thing, I know losing streaks happen, and I know winning streaks happen as well. I think having the basketball background really helps with that because that's the name of the game. You're playing a game of percentages. You work on that skill every single day, but you don't control the temperature in the gym.
Hmm.
You don't even control the weight of the ball. That's somebody else's ball. You don't control these referees, sir.
Hmm.
All right. So I can
So
only control how I move on the court. I can only control the shots that I take and don't take. And if I miss 5 in a row, I promise you I'm taking the next one after because that's my shot. I work on it.
word. So like tell me about your experience with significant losses. Like how did you mentally recover and adjust and what's your approach?
I think I'm still recovering from the most significant loss.
Oh man.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So a long time ago, I had probably like 5, 6 years ago.
Hmm.
Um, I don't think people do this stuff. That's crazy. People don't do this stuff. That's for sure. me and a buddy of mine, we were meditating and trading together, right? Because we were
Uh-huh.
not, it was not working, and we were like, look, we're gonna put on some binaural beats, we're gonna put on some good old music, and we're gonna just look up and mark up these charts, and we're gonna slap them. Listen to me.
Thinking you're gonna be trading in the zone.
We was trading in the zone. We were, bro. Listen,
Word.
we took the account from $2,000 to 70K in a week.
Oh my goodness.
Talk about euphoria. Listen, that that is how I bought my fiance's engagement ring.
Word. Word.
The week after we made that, because we were doing it together. I was taking trades. He was taking trades. The week after, that account was -$8.
Oh my goodness.
So to see the potential, right? Whether you're doing something right or wrong, but to see the potential of how much capital can be made and however long it took to make it
Word.
was incredible. But then to also see the psychological breakdown immediately after of
Mm.
not being prepared for that, like you weren't prepared for that. It showed his hand right after, right? So that was my biggest loss. And it wasn't with myself, it was with a trading buddy of mine. So I never took it as a personal loss. It's like, yo, we just did that together. And knowing that the market can move that way, or just take everything that you thought you was going to make because you're being a jerk and you're over leveraging and you're like
Mm.
overly confident and I know it's going to go up here. um quickly humbled me, that's for sure. And
Wow.
never ever gonna happen again, of course, right? But I definitely am still recovering from that type of loss because of 70 to -8. You What were you thinking? What were you not thinking? So now moving forward, it's always there. That's why I'm pretty risk adverse. I don't I'm not aggressive at all. I'm very
Word.
conservative in my approach.
So tell me, how do you stay disciplined? Like sticking, how do you stay disciplined and sticking to your trading plan, especially when the markets are unpredictable?
So like I was saying, I've gone through the process of trying to do it by discretion, and by discretion meaning just myself
Hmm.
being
Hmm.
fully able to do it, and it's not there. And I've been able to learn myself that way, to where
Hmm.
I put conditions around everything, where price must we say it, price must first reach here. Nah, assistant
Mm.
kind of tells me when that happens, and the assistant is just an alert that I program myself. You can do it, everybody can do it themselves, but I don't think that they're really doing that. So when price reaches that particular level, all right, I show up. Step two is the mark. I can see myself, is the market looking like it wants to go to the next target, or does it look like it wants to consolidate and range where it's at? And then I'd look at news, and then I'd wait for my particular entry pattern. When all those criterias are met, then I can take the trade. I would say it wasn't until maybe 6 months ago that I really just started to follow that routine, because
Hmm.
before it was just theory. I would see it. I'm a pattern thinker. I can see the pattern. So I would see it, but I never take notes on it. Right.
Mm.
I would see it, but I never journal it. But then I'd come
Hmm.
back. I remember, I'm like, dang, I was right. And I lost the whole way down, but I was right on the trade. So
Wow.
now it's like, yeah, it's very mechanical, but I have the ability to say, okay, am I going to engage with this or not? But everything is it's not it's quant trading. It's it's quant trading without the robots doing the work themselves. It's them. It's an alert firing at a key level that you've done your due diligence on, and then if
Mm.
I get my entry. pattern around those key levels, I trust my jump shot. If I lose, we're contained. It's contained. But if we win, we get our 2 3 R out of the position, and that's the math I need to grow this account.
Hmm. So let's switch up and let's talk about your learning and growth. What books, courses, or resources have had the biggest impact on your trading journey?
The biggest impact, books.
Books, courses, or resources?
Um, mm. Well, I will say that ICT Inner Circle Trader definitely helped give insight on the terminology and the terms that my mentor was trying to explain to me years prior. But he
Hmm.
also told me the truth that don't fall into the hype of marketing, right? Because all of
Hmm.
this is not new. None of it. The terms, the names. This market's been around for hundreds of years.
Hmm.
Nobody just made this stuff up today, right?
Hmm.
But being able to go through some of the ICT core concepts and understanding what liquidity is, understanding what order blocks are, and really from a psychological perspective, understanding what's happening in the market, that gave me insight, right? That gave me help. But the books, I think the best book was Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas, and then my favorite all time ever is Best Loser Wins by Tom
Hmm.
Hugard, I believe. Tom Hugard, and it's
Okay.
a relatively new book, but psh, he speaks the right language and he tells it raw as it is. It's that's the type of stuff that I gravitate towards. Um, it's the more calm way of doing this and doing it for you and not doing it to show people you can do it. Doing it for you.
Word. So like tell me, how important is journaling your trades? And what insights have you gained from keeping a trading journal?
It's the single most important thing that you must do as a trader. It's
Huh.
the single most important thing that you have to do as a trader. You have to
Say it again.
journal. It is the single most important thing that you have to do as a trader. Taking
Huh.
the trade ain't even it. Marking the charts up ain't even it. Wanting to learn to trade isn't even it. Journaling
Mm.
the process is the key. Again, I'll give you an example. My old self to my new self. I know this.
Hmm.
I've been told this. I've been told this years ago, but I didn't listen because the ego says, well, I can just, learn along the way. And nah, that stuff doesn't work. The reason why you have to journal is because next week you'll feel different than how you felt now.
Word.
Next week you get to go back to last week to see how you were feeling, what you did, and what were the outcomes. Did we lose? Did we win? Did I execute? Did I not execute? And you can't see any of it until time passes. Time must
Mm.
pass. And then that data starts to form a story. So I've had a profitable winning strategy for years, but I didn't even know it was profitable until I started to journal because I could see it, right? I could see it on the chart, but I
Hmm.
started to journal and see the mistakes that I was making, the impulsive moves, and then try to tweak and optimize and get to a, a, a number of
Hmm.
a number, a mathematical number where the win rate and the risk to reward makes sense that this is profitable. And you can't see that until you journal. You can't see that until you plug your trades into some sort of, whether you're doing it by hand or you're doing it through some digital tool, and then you have to review the journal. You can't just write. You can't just write. You have to write and then have a time to go back and read what was written. So moving forward, you don't make the same mistakes twice. They say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over
Same
and over and
over and over
over,
again. Yeah.
expecting a different result. So that right there shook me up. I knew I was doing the same thing over and over, which is getting in impulsively, not understanding what the heck happened. Whipsaw, news,
Mm,
bruh, nuts, right? Absolutely nuts. But once you slow down and you can like write what happened and plug the pair and the price point and the stop losses, and you can see whether it went to take profit too, or this trade could have went further or it went less. All of that information comes from journaling, and then you can learn from your own process and then make it better. Or all we're doing is trying to fight our humanness throughout this whole game, trying to fight the impulsive human. And
mm,
journaling is the single number one thing that you can do as a trader. I remember my mentor, he's been right the whole time. That's how you know you got a mentor been trying to pour love into you, right? He said,
mm-hmm,
um, record your screen. Now, I don't record my screen because I trade differently. But if you're
mm,
scalping, he said record your screen and then watch the session in 2x or 3x speed when you watch your replays,
yep.
because the next time you go into your trading session, the market's going to start to look like it's moving slower to you. I want
Mm,
y'all to do this exercise. Whoever's listening to this, go on a YouTube video, all right, and change the speed, or a book or whatever on Audible, and change the speed from the normal 1x to 1.5, and just let your brain get adjusted to that real quick. You're going to start to process the information as fast as they're speaking, and then the moment
mm,
you change that thing from 1.5 or 2x speed back to 1, you're going to start thinking faster. It's like, why y'all talking so slow? That
mm.
is so powerful.
Processing the information while intaking the information at the same time.
Yeah.
So like, with that being said, what's your view on demo trading versus live trading when it comes to refining your strategy?
Okay. If the journaling is the single most important thing that you do, demo
Mm,
is probably the second most important thing that you do. Again,
mm,
we're in this digital social media age where everybody has to have the perfect everything and the best ROI and the highest P&L. And how do you know how to optimize if you're not continuously playing around, right?
right.
If you're not continuously testing things. Now, the demo environment is to test new ideas, test new theories. If you have a winning framework, you have an account that you trade on, and that's the live account. You follow the system, and you do that. But let's say right now, um, I've been looking at gold because I primarily trade the dollar index and Euro USD with GU. But I've been looking at gold for a while, and I'm like, why haven't I been trading gold? I've been looking at gold, and I'm like, why haven't I been trading gold? Gold and the indices are moving in certain ways, and I think that because I have something working with what's working now, it's making me want to optimize more. So the only way to do that is to test. So I opened up
Mm,
a demo account, and I'm testing, just buying gold. I'm never going to look to sell it unless it gives the market structure completely shifts, right?
mm,
Only look to buy it, but where? And then I'm testing that, looking, back
mm,
testing and running software simulations and seeing what that can look like. So the demo environment is there for us come on, yeah. NBA players, right? They're playing live games. I refer to basketball because that's my connection, right? You play live
mm.
games, but let's keep it real. 80% of the time, you don't even see them. What are they doing?
Huh.
You see them when they show up for the big game.
Right.
80% of the time, what are they doing? Well, they
Practicing.
fucking around. They're trying new things. They're doing all the in-game routine things that you can expect to experience in the market. They're simulating it in a demo environment, a
Huh.
contained demo environment. So
So like being that you're describing everything with the demo trading versus live trading. Let me ask you this. How do you continuously improve and adapt your strategy to changing market conditions? Because I'm assuming that that's mostly done in demo trading.
yeah, it's definitely done in demo, and it's not just done in demo. It's done with the circle of influence that you have around you too, right?
Mm,
I'm connected to some powerful mentors who are
hmm
in the trenches, and just having conversations once a month alone reminds me that this market is a beast. It is ever changing. It's not what social media makes it out to be. You don't know what it's going to do all the time,
mm,
and to just keep that at the forefront of what's going on. So yeah, while we're demoing, we're trying out things that we think would work, but also keeping in mind to stay flexible, right? Because at the end of the day, the market moves two directions, up or down. That in
hmm
itself is a 50-50 coin toss, right?
mm,
And if our job is to just get in and grab what the market is going to give us for that session, then there's many ways to do it. Whether a person's strategy is to hedge themselves, whether a person's strategy is to risk a very low amount per trade and just have a higher risk to reward on their setups.
mm,
Whatever that formula is, I think you have to develop it yourself because everything's personal. It's a personality thing, and because we know, I know that the market is ever changing, it's fluid. There's never not learning. You're gonna have to learn because you're gonna need to be able to adapt to whatever's going on. Um, and I think that's what makes it a fun game to play. It is a game at the end of the day. When you get to another level in a video game, you don't know what to expect. You have a framework to go about. You kind of know the objective, but
hmm
going through the different levels and it gets harder and harder. You try to think about it that way, where it's a video game and I'm on level 9, and when I get to level 11, the stuff that I saw on level 9 is just going to be more confusing, different, maybe a different language, right?
mm,
So we're 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 always going to need to continuously evolve and grow to have understanding of these concepts and whatever the market is doing.
hmm So like let's touch on some of your industry insights. What are your thoughts on the current state of the market? Where do you see trading opportunities today?
Uh, what do you mean? What do you mean by that in terms of?
Like as far as everything you see going on with the markets, prop firms, different brokerages, the
Wow.
current state of the market, and how you see the evolution of trading
The
going.
industry itself?
Yes.
Well, I've always seen that. So there's good players and there's bad players in this space, right?
hmm
And then you have retail trading and you have institutional trading, where the institutional trading is what really moves the market, right?
hmm
And retail, we're just here to try to participate and grab what we can so we can grow our capital. I think it's a phenomenal time to be alive, to even be able to tap into resources and education and the technology that's available now. Shoot, the journaling tools now, man, it's more accessible to people.
hmm
And I think that because things are so much more accessible, they feel like the learning curve is that accessible as well. But I think the market is in a good place. Prop firms are prop firms, so you have good and you have bad, so you have to do your due diligence on how you approach this. But because we don't know what we don't control these entities and we don't control the regulations around them. For the time that it's available, you just got to capitalize on it. And what's the name of the game anyway? Grow capital. So whether it's your own capital that you work hard for, or you have a business that's cash flowing and you're able to trade that capital, or you're able to tap into prop firms and you're growing money. The thing is to be able to have a plan on when you do withdraw your money from the prop firms, how do you move forward, right? Because
Mm.
that's what it is. When we first got started in this trading, I mean, particularly, I'll say for myself, none of this was available. Prop firms, some of the trading view wasn't even available, and the tool
Right.
at all, right? So you kind of were like just trying to figure things out. And now that all these resources and tools are available, it's kind of like we were saying. We was on level 3 a few years ago, and now we're on level 9, having to learn all this new stuff that does make
Hmm.
it easier and better. But if you don't still go through the same process, it's not going to be easier and better. You're just going to get wrecked all over again at a different level.
Mm.
So I think the space is
So,
in a really, really interesting space. It's in a great space. People don't like regulations, but regulations are there to keep you safe. And also having access to prop firm capital is a huge win. But we can't sit there and rely on it because we don't control. Just like we didn't control when they showed up. I can't control when they're
mhm.
gonna go away.
Right. So, talk about how you see trading evolved over the years, and how do you see it changing in the next decade?
Man, so many more people are aware of
Hmm.
what the market can do for them. I think that
And you have to kind of like wonder about that because we're in the space. So you see, it seems like a lot more people are paying attention, but is it because we're on the inside watching the others come into the space?
yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
I think that's what it is
Hmm.
because I don't know how to point it, but there's 8 billion people in the
Right.
world, and all these 8 billion people are going through different things at different stages at different parts of their lives, right?
Hmm.
There are so many people that have no idea what a pip is or what the Canadian. There are people that don't know what the Canadian dollar is. You think put that into perspective, let alone
Right.
an indice or a bond, right? So as you grow through the journey of financial education, financial literacy, of you just tap into new things. And I just feel like because of social media, because of the internet primarily, just like when we got online, it's like opportunity. More and more
Hmm.
people are starting to see opportunity and they gravitate towards what? Making money. Opportunity could also
Hmm.
be increasing your network. Opportunity could
Hmm.
also be increasing your mental health. But right now, everybody want to make money. And how do you do that?
Hmm.
I think I'm going to go on these charts and I'm going to make money. But I started off this conversation by saying I learned real quick that trading is not a place to make money. It's a place to grow money because
Hmm.
you have to risk money to make the money. So you're not making money. You're not minting.
Hmm.
You're risking to you're growing capital. So more people are coming online to for opportunity. And because of social media and some of these influencers, especially the ones that finesse people, it's a lot of lies and a lot of scams. The ones that
Word.
finesse people show people that it's easy to trade. You can do this in a relatively short amount of time. But what they don't tell them is you're going to need to learn to trade. I can't do it for you. You're going to need to learn to tame yourself. You're going to need to have goals. You're going to need to understand who you are as a being. You're going to need to understand and do this all on your own. Because as much as a person right next to you is worth 8 figures, is giving you the blueprint, but you have a 5 figure mindset that needs to grow into a 6 figure mindset, 7 figure mindset. So this it's wide open because the opportunity is there. I feel like more and more people will get into this space and they will walk away from it, hopefully, to come back, because usually what happens, you come in, you get wrecked, and then you go deep inside yourself to find what is it that I'm missing for this to actually work for me, if you truly want it to work. And then you come
Mm,
back with that new insight, that higher understanding, and then now you can follow whatever blueprint that works for you, whatever process
mm-hmm.
that works for you. And I think that moving forward, the industry is going to continue to grow and thrive as well. I don't know how it's going to look with artificial, and that's one thing. I don't know how it's going to look with artificial intelligence
Mm-hmm.
fully coming into the mix. So that's the one thing that I keep at the back of my mind. But in terms of retail trading, I mean, retail traders have access to capital, can get access to education now. It's no longer hidden information, and then you know just taking it one step at a time and making it something that works for you. Making it something that works for you.
Mm. So like you touched on it a little bit, but tell me about what are some common misconceptions about day trading that you see, and what do you think what um what are some common misconceptions about day trading that you think should be cleared up?
This shit is not fun. That it's not exciting. It's not supposed to be exciting. It's not
Mm-hmm.
fun. It's difficult. It's very challenging. So again, there's the shiny part. There's who goes on social media and shows you the the um, the drawdowns they're losing streaks. Not many people
Mm-hmm.
are transparent enough to do that, and the majority of new traders or even intermediate traders, they don't gravitate towards that information. They want to go towards the
The
end
winners.
goal. Yeah, the end goal.
Right.
But it's not a sexy process. It's something that um, you learn. It's a business at the end of the day. So
Mm-hmm.
when you get to a mental point where you start to accept and believe that, hey, everything is a risk to reward. There's an opportunity cost to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not fun. I have to do things to de-stress myself, to keep myself in a a good mental space. And it's not it's not what the average person ought to do. This ain't
Mm-hmm.
for weak minded individuals. You have to want more. You have to believe that you're worth more, and you have to be willing to take the risk. Because if you can't get to the mental point where you realize that the only thing we're guaranteed in life is death itself, you're not even gonna make it
Mm.
in trading, right? We're not guaranteed
Man,
anything.
that's real talk, man. And I mean, I know we got some new traders that's tuned in. So tell me, what advice would you give someone that's just starting their day trading journey?
Um, Go stand and look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, do I really want to do this? Do I really want to
Mm,
go through this journey? And then when you decide what that answer is, then you surround yourself with like-minded people, energies that
mm,
can help you stay on path, whatever that path is. If it's a yes, because we're talking about wanting to trade, then surround yourself with people that encourage you to do the right things, and
mm,
to stay focused on your goal. And then I would say to build a system and a routine that works for you and not the other way around, meaning make this market your bitch, not the other way around. Don't allow everything to tell you what to do. You tell yourself how you want to move, and you form those brackets around how you want to do what you want to do. Your goals, your lifestyle, what you want to accomplish with your family, like you really got to slow down and ask yourself, how much money do I need to make at the end of the month for me to not feel this way? And then get to that number. You don't worry about 10,000. Don't worry about 500,000. Don't worry about 1 million. Worry about the
Mm-hmm.
process of being a consistently profitable trader, because once you have the process of being consistently profitable, everything at the end of the day is math now. It's just numbers.
Mm.
So I would say to slow down. Oh, have an income stream. Don't be the starving artist, entrepreneur, trader who's just trying to trade as your income stream. If it's not there for you yet, have a
Mm.
cash flow, have a whatever that is, whether you're doing a job, whether you got to hustle, whether you're doing some sort of affiliate market, whatever it is, the best thing that you can do is to have peace of mind. Because some of the most successful retail traders, they're doctors, lawyers, because they're not worried about chasing money. The money is
Mm-hmm.
there and they're growing their capital. They needed a way to grow their capital. And that's what we're doing here. We're we have a skill set where we can grow capital. So you want to slow down and really understand what's going on, the nuances of the market. And once you understand that, uh, you're doing it in a demo environment until it clicks and it makes sense. You have a good routine. You have built the disciplines in that environment. When it's time to go in the game, nothing's different. You're going to probably have to adjust your mindset a little bit from the demo to the live account. But once you go live, nothing's different. You've already got the habits and the routines down, and now it's just to
Mm-hmm.
continue to step into it. It's going to take time. It will take however long. It, that's the thing. Ask yourself, do I really want to do this? And then ask yourself, what do I need to make this happen?
Hmm. So, like, if you could go back in time, hop in the DeLorean, go holler at yourself, what would you tell yourself when you first started trading? When you very first started trading?
Don't make it about the money.
Mm.
Make it about who you're growing into. Don't
Mm.
make it
Mm.
about the money. Make it
That's
about
real.
make it about who you are growing into. That's what I would have told myself, because the person I am now, I'm organized, I'm more
Mm-hmm.
disciplined, I'm super duper patient. And these are, little things that I had before, but not to this extent. I was
Mm-hmm.
impulsive. I was impulsive.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I would tell myself. Don't make it about the money. Make it about the journey and the process, because the money is there. It's
Mm-hmm.
not, go
Mm-hmm.
go over here, go open up a $400,000. The money is right there. You got a 400K account today. So
Right.
what's stopping you from being able to withdraw 60 grand by the end of the year? Think about that for
Hmm.
a second. It's the process.
So, what's one mistake you see new traders making over and over again?
Um, Not journaling.
Mm.
That's the number one
Mm.
mistake. And I could go into strategy hopping and just not sticking to something long enough, but that derives
Mm-hmm.
from the data, the journaling. If And it's a personality thing. That's why you have to do
Mm-hmm.
it. Your personality is going to help you correct some of these mistakes and help you guide yourself towards the right formula for you and your lifestyle and the time that you got available and the goals. But it's definitely the journaling. And I can't stress this enough. Nobody can tell you to do it. They can only show you. And then the
Mm.
person has to either um, go through trauma and realize, wow, I really have to do this, or they'll just walk away from it, because they'll never develop that part of themselves that says, hey, yeah, I really have to slow down and write all this out so I can see. Because right now I can't see. operating off of emotions and impulses and what I think. And you can't really move forward based off of any of that. You have to look at data and make data driven decisions, and that helps tremendously. And the only way to do this is to journal. So number one thing that most traders go away from is the deep work.
Putting in the work in the gym,
even when nobody's watching. They need somebody to watch. It's like they need somebody to be watching to validate that they're putting in the work. But
right,
again, once you remove yourself from other people's goals and other people's lifestyles, and you look at your own self, your own situation, you start to say, well, I would never drive that Lambo anyway. And I'm not trying to go to Dubai. I can't even go there. These two kids was wild, bro. I'm maybe like 10 years from now. Right. So then you start to like, oh, nah, this is who I am. This is what I'm trying to do. And you build around you. You build around you.
Yep. Right. Because your perspective as a young trader versus a trader with a whole family is totally different.
Completely different. Right. Because when I first got introduced to trading, I didn't have my kids. Right. So I could take the risks. I was taking risks. Right. Not to say that that's the right thing to do. That's what we were saying not to do. But when you don't have that type of responsibility, you it's okay. You can always bounce from it pretty quickly, right? But once you have
the risk tolerance is a lot higher.
Oh yeah. Once you have a solid responsibilities, family, people that rely on you for income, for money, you can't go around risking it. So you slow down and build for your family. And it's not even complex. It's just a decision that you have to make internally to cut off the noise and then start to walk that path.
So like we're coming towards the end, man, and I have this section where we go into some sniper questions.
Okay.
These are rapid fire questions, straight to the point. You know, so you give a short answer just straight off the top of your head.
Okay.
First question. What's your go-to trading platform?
TradingView.
Coffee or energy drinks?
Coffee.
What is the most underrated skill in trading?
Discernment.
Favorite book on trading?
Best Loser Wins.
Do you trade with music or in silence?
Beach waves.
So best stress reliever after a rough day?
Dinner time with the family.
Word up.
Yeah.
Man. Hey, man, Carl, I got to appreciate you for coming on, man. I got to thank you for coming on because, bro, this was a real conversation with a real trader. And it's so genuine, and I'm so appreciative to share this experience and conversation with you, brother.
Man, thank you for having me. I'm really humbled, and like we always say, bro, no FOMO, 10 toes deep, lock in. Hey, and this is beautiful. I want to leave y'all with this. Focus and elevate. That's the mantra. Focus and elevate.
Because it's all about elevated minds, baby.
That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
So guys, thanks for tuning in to the NOFOMO podcast, where we discuss keeping cool and adapting to today's changing markets. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure that you hit like and subscribe button, and don't miss out on the future drops. We got plenty of more insights coming your way. Until next time, stay focused, stay disciplined, and remember, when it comes to trading, the best way to be is to have no FOMO. Y'all be cool, and we'll catch you on the next one.